Hey y'all, it's Denise, and I'm in my studio this morning. It's November 30th, the end of the year for me. All my sales, all my shows, all my marketing, my promoting, my being out there as a professional working full-time artist have calmed down, have really come to a close for the year. So I have this month, the month of December, to kind of sit back and reflect. Aside from having the holidays right on us, that's pretty easy for us at this point. My kids live over in Europe. Family has kind of dispersed throughout the country. So it's holidays are a little gentler these days. So it gives me a lot of time to think about and reflect on where I've been, where I want to go, and where I want to take my art. And that is a really important topic for me, because I kind of feel like I can be all over the place because I want a jelly plate. I want to do mixed media. I want to create this. Maybe I'll do assemblage. And oftentimes I think, okay, focus. But you know what? That is my focus. My focus is being creative. And that is where I settle in and feel most at home with myself. I'm often read, jack of all trades and master of none. But I just recently, on an Instagram post, actually saw the final part of that line. Jack of all trades, master of none is better than being the master of one. So loved the way that sounded, and thought I'd share that with you. As a professional artist full-time, I am full-time everything. I'm the webmaster, I am my marketer, I am my social media person, I am my supply buyer and shopper and picker-upper, and I'm part of a professional artist studio, which also includes a lot of things. So literally 3/4 of my time can be taken up with the business of art. And I don't always have time to do the art. So I'm gonna be changing that up in the coming year and really focusing on what makes me happiest. And that is my art. So for me, for now, I'm going to kind of explore some things I'm curious about in my art, and I want to take the time to do. I have an upcoming solo show in the middle of January, so this is the perfect time for me to work on that, explore, see what's up next for me, and there you go. That's what I'm doing. Until then, my studio sessions may be some repeats or bringing up some things. I actually have a couple of montages of things that I really think are important in my art making that could be important in your art making too. So I'm going to post those, and I hope you enjoy them. And I hope you enjoy taking some time off. I hope you're able to have some time off. So I hope you'll stick around and see what I'm up to. Until then, enjoy this montage and have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Okay, so here we go. I've got 12 of these boards ready to go. And what I did to each of them, this is really important, is that you take some sandpaper and you hit all your edges, your corners, the sides, all the way around to get rid of all the little splinters or anything that can catch your finger while you're painting. And make sure you got them all wiped off pretty good. And there you go, we're ready to paint. So I am using, I have a whole gallon of this white gesso. I'm don't love this gesso because it seems to be pretty thin. But, I have it, so I'll use it up. And I just want to get a nice coat of gesso on here, on that board, to seal off so it's not quite so porous. Because the board will just suck your paints right into it. So you want to get a good sealer coat on here, and gesso is the perfect primer for your wood. Now, if you were doing fine artwork, you know, things that you had a little bit more, the texture, you didn't want texture in there, you would probably let this dry, sand it down smooth, put another coat, let that dry, sand it down smooth, and continue on until you get it to where you want it. You can get a really nice finish with gesso. I'm in my studio today preparing my art table for a series of small paintings that I'm working on, and I thought I would walk you through the process of how I go about getting ready to work on a series. I find it really much easier for me to get all my colors and all my supplies together, especially my papers and my paints, to have that all figured out before I start working on the series. So I don't have to stop in the middle of what I'm doing and go figure out what I need and where it is in my studio. I've got it all right here on my table. So as you know, I am a mixed media artist. I love papers. I really love papers. So I start with that, and I've got all my papers figured out. I've gone through and I've picked out the neutrals that I want to use. I've picked out my pinks and my reds. I've got my teals and aquas, some greens, and of course you can't use teal and aqua without putting in a touch of rusty reds. I love that. I don't have a lot of blues. I have some in there, but mainly I love this tissue paper with the denim, so I'm going to fit that in somewhere. And I always feel like I need to have a touch of black and white. It kind of adds the drama and helps carry the eye around the piece. So I always work black and white in somehow to my piece. I've got a pile of text and different handwritten text, printed text. I've got stamps, I've got ephemera, little pieces like that that add interest to my piece. I have pulled together a few items I might add in. I've got my paint palette figured out. And as the very last thing that I do is I have a pile of subject matter. And once I get all of my papers figured out onto my board, and as I'm going along doing that and adding my text, then I come back and I pick my subject. And that will be the star of the piece. Now, along with that, I've also got on my table my Venetian plaster that I've been using in my pieces. I've got my polyurethane. That's what I use to lay my papers down. And what I've been doing now is using cold wax medium as the sealer on my pieces. I love, love, love the texture, the smooth luster I get with that. So this is what my art table looks like. And it actually stays pretty organized because I know once I pull my boards up, I can, and this is where I'm starting on my boards. It's already got a lot going on, but this is just my first layer. From here, I will start layering more papers and plaster over it. So this is just my base. And it's really fun. It's very organized for me. And share in the comments how you might do yours. That is pretty interesting to find out how everybody does their work. So thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up. I really love that. And subscribe if you haven't already. I've got some fun stuff coming up. Alrighty, bye-bye. Have a great weekend.